Hey, what's up, y'all? This is DJ Wiz from Kid and Play, and I'm listening to BSP, and don't y'all know it's a house party up in here? You better tune in. Holla.
Good evening and welcome to ESP and Jax Speaks. Well, not so much Jax because she's on an assignment again. And it's Earth Week. Well, it's Earth Day, but it's Earth Week. And we'd like to say Happy Earth Week and wish you clean air and fresh water and many blessings as we go forward in this journey that we're on. I'd like to take a moment to recognize 3 of our listeners who are repeated and avid listeners that lost a parent this week, and each of them a different parent. We are here for you. Both Jax and I are here for you. If you need us, you know we're just a holler away. Just pick up the phone and we will come running if there's anything that we can do. And we are so sorry for your loss. And on a very, very personal note, to AH, my love, it'll be okay. Mom's in a better place now. And she's resting peacefully. And you know that I'm here, even though COVID is putting us in 2 different states, but we'll fix it. It'll be okay. Anyway, to all the families during this difficult time, once again, Jax and I extend our extreme best to you and are here for all of you. And this week, well, I gotta say this. Guilty, guilty, guilty. That was a long time coming, and it's been a struggle for our people. It's been a struggle for our men and our children and us as a people with the police force, and it's only the beginning. We have to keep up what we're doing and keep forging forward. But let's keep pushing for this legislation or these legislations, because even while they were reading the verdict, another soul was being taken. So we must stay diligent. And as Jax and I always say, know your local government, because if you're not going to make noise on that level, it's not going to filter up, and people vote when these legislations come on the ballots. Vote, vote, vote. Okay, I guess I did get a little political without her, but the in-depth stuff we won't do because, like I said, when Jax is not here, I usually will stay away from the political commentary. And this week's is not going to be a long one. We've been doing some long shows. This week is a short one. I don't know if some of you tuned in during the middle of the week. We did 2 shows this past week where Jax and I had a little bit of a rant. That was kind of fun. And you know that you can go back and watch all of our stuff on the ESP page that you're on right now. But this show is going to be a standard hour or so. And we have some really wonderful guests in today and some great information. So you might want to grab a pen and a piece of paper to jot a couple of things down. And we've got audio and visual for you. And just in case, let me let you know, because once again, if you can't watch the whole show, you can pick us up on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, TuneIn, Anchor Podcasts, Breaker Radio, Public, Twitch, Stitch, Overcast, Pocket Cast. And we are live right now on YouTube, and you can catch us in rebroadcast. All of our episodes are on YouTube at ESP Speaks. You can click the bell to subscribe. Please do that. Leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing, or a suggestion if you want. We're also, if you want to leave a comment, but you don't want to type it online, you can hit us at our text line, which is 516-400-7269. And you guys send us a lot of suggestions and a lot of commentary on there as well. We appreciate it. If you don't want to type it all, if you don't want to do social media at all, you can go to 929-336-7887 and leave us a voicemail. And sometimes we actually do pick up, but it depends on when you call. But we're there for you there as well. And we do take suggestions. Someone left us a joke. And, any way you want to communicate with us is perfectly fine, because we want to hear from you. If you want to send us an email, we're at espspeaks@espspeaks.com, or we're at let me change that. We're at esp@espspeaks.com and espspeaks@gmail.com. If you're a fan of IG, we do repost the show on IG, and you can reach us at ESP Real Talk. And if you want to hop over to Twitter, we're at ESP Speaks and Speaks ESP as well. So those are the ways that you can get in contact with us if you can't hang out with us online. Sometimes you guys get us in your Facebook Messenger, and that's not so much so you can just jump in at that time. If you want to click and watch it later, you can do so. So that's just for your convenience, because you're on our mailing list. We send it out to you. Anyway, we'll be happy to have you any way we can get you. So this week, last week's show, we spoke with Vanessa the Veganese, because a lot of you had written in and typed in and texted in and voiced in that you wanted to have lighter meal options for the summer, and that you wanted to try a different dietary plan. Some of you were asking for vegan, some of you were asking for vegetarian, some of you were just asking for ideas because you were tired of cooking the same thing. So we brought on Vanessa the Veganese, and we had a lot of fun with her. And she's actually starting a new program that I'm going to leave some information for you as well, because some of you contacted her and are now a part of her wellness program that she's doing on her IG channel at the underscore Veganese on IG. So she has a new program that she's starting where you're walking one-on-one through counseling with her. But she's going to be coming back and doing a couple of meals for us, and all of that wonderful stuff. So we're looking forward to that. But as I said last week, she was the first part of our series on the rituals, honoring the rituals of our foods. This week, We are going to be looking at another type of healthy pattern, which is cutting out the processed foods and a cleaner eating. What is cleaner eating without having to be labeled as a vegan or labeled as a vegetarian or labeled as anything else, but you just want to get into clean eating. So we're going to hold your hand through that, and we're going to talk about that for a little bit. I have a wonderful guest for you. And we'll be speaking about how foods affects our body and also how foods affect our minds as well, because that's something that we haven't really looked at on a deeper scale. We talk a lot about what we're putting in our mouths and how it affects our system and gut health and the blood and so on and so forth, but we don't really talk about where the minerals, and this is why we were speaking about sea moss last week, because sea moss has a set of minerals. It's 102 minerals in the body, and sea moss has 92 of them. And those minerals are necessary for the passage of blood, for our overall health, to keep our immune system awake. And right now, our immune system is the biggest key issue as far as I'm concerned, to keep that healthy and keep us tuned in. But also in this show, we're going to talk about how foods affect our mind, how foods affect our brain, and how foods affect our mood. Because a lot of people don't think about that, how it affects your mood. We just kind of think you're crazy. But we're going to talk about how the food is actually affecting your brain. And in our impact on our daily food habits, you are what you eat. I want to introduce you to a very, very, very special return guest. I'm so excited. But before she comes on, I want you to take a quick look at this.
If you sucked all of the moisture out of your brain and broke it down to its constituent nutritional content, what would it look like? Most of the weight of your dehydrated brain would come from fats, also known as lipids. In the remaining brain matter, you would find proteins and amino acids, traces of micronutrients, and glucose. The brain is, of course, more than just the sum of its nutritional parts, but each component does have a distinct impact on functioning, development, mood, and energy. So that post-lunch apathy or late-night alertness you might be feeling, well, that could simply be the effects of food on your brain. Of the fats in your brain, the superstars are omegas 3 and 6. These essential fatty acids, which have been linked to preventing degenerative brain conditions, must come from our diets. So eating omega-rich foods like nuts, seeds, and fatty fish is crucial to the creation and maintenance of cell membranes. And while omegas are good fats for your brain, long-term consumption of other fats, like trans and saturated fats, may compromise brain health. Meanwhile, proteins and amino acids, the building block nutrients of growth and development, manipulate how we feel and behave. Amino acids contain the precursors to neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that carry signals between neurons, affecting things like mood, sleep, attentiveness, and weight. They're one of the reasons we might feel calm after eating a large plate of pasta, or more alert after a protein-rich meal. The complex combinations of compounds in food can stimulate brain cells to release mood-altering norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. But getting to your brain cells is tricky, and amino acids have to compete for limited access. A diet with a range of foods helps maintain a balanced combination of brain messengers and keeps your mood from getting skewed in one direction or the other. Like the other organs in our bodies, our brains also benefit from a steady supply of micronutrients. Antioxidants in fruits and vegetables strengthen the brain to fight off free radicals that destroy brain cells, enabling your brain to work well for a longer period of time. And without powerful micronutrients like the vitamins B6, B12, and folic acid, our brains would be susceptible to brain disease and mental decline. Trace amounts of the minerals iron, copper, zinc, and sodium are also fundamental to brain health and early cognitive development. In order for the brain to efficiently transform and synthesize these valuable nutrients, it needs fuel, and lots of it. While the human brain only makes up about 2% of our body weight, it uses up to 20% of our energy resources. Most of this energy comes from carbohydrates that our body digests into glucose or blood sugar. The frontal lobes are so sensitive to drops in glucose, in fact, that a change in mental function is one of the primary signals of nutrient deficiency. Assuming that we are getting glucose regularly, how does the specific type of carbohydrates we eat affect our brains? Carbs come in 3 forms: starch, sugar, and fiber. While on most nutrition labels, they are all lumped into one total carb count, the ratio of the sugar and fiber subgroups to the whole amount affect how the body and brain respond. A high glycemic food, like white bread, causes a rapid release of glucose into the blood, and then comes the dip. Blood sugar shoots down, and with it, our attention span and mood. On the other hand, oats, grains, and legumes have slower glucose release, enabling a steadier level of attentiveness. For sustained brain power, opting for a varied diet of nutrient-rich foods is critical. When it comes to what you bite, chew, and swallow, your choices have a direct and long-lasting effect on the most powerful organ in your body.
So, family, my next guest, as I said, is a returning guest. She's been on with me several times. An amazing and powerful woman. I love this sister so deeply. She means the world to me, and she has my utmost respect. And here's why. This is a woman who decided she wanted to make a change, and she got up and she did the work. She didn't just talk about it. She went out and she got every certification, she got every degree necessary for her to speak with authority, which is so important because in this day and age where anybody can get up and say anything, and because we're also gullible on the internet, people pick up information and just run with it. When she speaks, she knows exactly what she's talking about. She is a radio talk show host who has a show every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on iHeartRadio, and it generates from WDBR. It's called the Fresh Start Focus. And she also runs a group, which I'm about to open up to all of you. There have been a select few that have been ill that I've exposed to this group, and you've been responding so wonderfully well that it's time that we just give a deluge of people into this new energy that she has presented. The name of the group is Fresh Start Fresh Start Focus Inner Circle, and it's located on Facebook, and I will be sending every one of you an Evite. So if you wouldn't mind, because some of you I can see, some of you are in subgroups, some of you are in watch parties, and we kind of have to hunt for the information when you're in watch parties. And there are certain watch parties we don't see you until the end. So whatever group you're in, whatever page you're in, whatever forum you're in, just do me a favor. Type your first name into the comment field and we will be able to hunt for you on your first name. You don't have to type your last name, or if you want, you can type your email address and just save us all the trouble, or you can inbox us. You can message ESP and we'll get a notification and we will add you to the group. Trust me, this group will change your life. It will change the way you eat. It will change the way you think. And once again, she is certified to say what she's saying and speak with authority. I love her to tears. I am going to, you know what, I could talk about this authentic, beautiful queen for an hour, easy. But that would mean I'd be keeping her from you. So please join me in welcoming TANYA HAZLEHURST Dawkins, who is a certified health coach, holistic health coach, and an American Association of Drugless Practitioners. T, welcome back, girl.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here this evening.
Listen, I was in tears. You know, we had to redo the makeup, but it's so good to see you. Look wonderful. I'm so happy that you were able to visit with us again on our health series. And you've got the interesting section, part 2. You are what you eat, as we observe our food rituals that we were born with and our heritage proclaims. But here's where you're ultra special. You can give us real information, studied information that we wouldn't otherwise have access to unless we were dealing with a dietitian or we were dealing with a doctor. And that's why I expose you to the family, because T, they need help. We need to get back to clean eating. We need to get away from all of these processed foods. And I don't want them to listen to me just preaching. I want to give them you who knows exactly what you're talking about. So let's jump right in. I'm going to keep quiet and let you do what you do.
Well, we're talking about clean eating. We can start there. People want to say, what is clean eating? You know, it's a catchphrase. Everybody's talking about clean eating now. Or really, what is clean eating? Clean eating, in my version, TANYA HAZLEHURST Dawkins version, is eat real food. Anything that comes from the ground, anything that comes from the trees, okay? Fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and fresh, clean water. That is real food. And obviously water is drink. That's real food. Anything that is packaged, that can sit on a shelf for 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, that is not real food. Real food is what comes from nature. You know, sometimes when you are reading labels, and that's something that we all should do, is read labels. If you're eating something and it has 15 ingredients, you are eating chemicals. You are not eating food. And so much of the standard American diet, we call it in my profession the SAD diet. So much of the standard American diet is processed foods. And I don't even know how we call it food. We call it food, but it's really not food, you know? It's these processed items that we eat, and we ingest these things. And you know what our body does? When we put these things in our body doesn't even know what to do with it, because it's not designed. Think about our forefathers. And when I say forefathers, I'm people who lived thousands upon thousands of years ago, when we didn't have all of these processed foods and chemicalized food products. Their bodies were slimmer, healthier, and in some ways stronger, because their bodies did not have to process 15 things after they ingested that, you know, packaged goods that they ate. Your body has to break it down some kind of way. And year after year after year of doing this, the body begins to create disease. The body is at dis-ease, because that's really what disease is, if you break down the word dis and ease. So we want to take off the dis and we want to go with ease. We want to eat things that are easy on the body, right?
And things that were actually made for the body.
Right, foods that were made for the body. So eating foods that will push away disease will create ease, right? So we want to eat for ease, and we want to eat for fuel. And we want to eat for our health. We are what we eat. And many of us are eating because of cultural reasons. Some of the foods we eat are cultural. Some of the foods that we're eating because we are taught to eat for celebration. Think about it. A birthday, what are we doing? We're going out to dinner. Right? A graduation, we're going out to dinner or lunch or brunch or whatever. We use food as a form of celebration culturally, but we have not been taught to how to eat for our health. We shouldn't be eating not for pleasure, but for purpose.
Well, okay, I agree with you 100%, but I think we got to change the way we say that to a certain degree. For those of you that are a part of the American system of eating, because I know some of you come from overseas, and I have a large amount of listeners who are actually listening in Africa. Some of you are in England. I know there are 10 of you in Australia right now. So you're kind of looking at us going, what are you talking about? Because you're not dealing with that level of what we deal with here. But in the American diet, we don't have the fresh fruits and vegetables like you walk out in the backyard, you pick it up off of a tree. By the time we go to the supermarket and buy it, it's processed through several hands and several things. So I just wanted to clarify that I agree wholeheartedly with the statement, but I have to address the whole community of family, because some of them were looking at us oddly. You are aware that the American diet is designed as a marketing strategy rather than a holistic and healthful thing to promote health. Because the sicker they make us is the better it is for the next industry, which is the health industry. Because the health industry is not based on health, it's based on, as you said, disease. So let's keep getting sick through our eating. Then let's pay Jenny Craig or any other diet system to help us take it off, which is another set of processed food. And we, by the way, still have our children eating all of those sugary cereals and everything. And then we go to the hospital because we've been diagnosed with something which was caused by inflammation, mucus buildup, gut mishealth, when all we needed to do was take it back to the basics and eat fresh fruits and vegetables and nuts and drink water and cleanse our system. And Tanya, I would really like to have you tell them, you gave me a gem a couple of years ago when I told you I was drinking lemon, and you said, no, go get the lime. And you broke it down and explained to me, and my mind was blown that day. Please tell them the difference between a lemon and a lime.
Okay, well, they come from the same family. So let's just clarify that. They come from but they do different things. Lime is a mucus buster, okay? I don't know how to explain it, but for you to experience it. Get yourself a lime, cut it in half, squeeze it in your water, and drink it. You can use one lime, you can use two. If you want to start with half a lime, that's okay too. But when you drink that lime water, you will literally feel the mucus breaking up and coming out of your body. I kid you not. I do it. I drink it all the time, and I can actually feel it cleansing my system. Lemons, on the other hand, is great. And they both have vitamin C. Lemons in particular are great for a good vitamin C boost, especially, if you have a cold, if you have, lemon tea, honey, that type of thing, that's great. But for cleansing the body, there is nothing like lime. There is just nothing like it. Is like a.
Well, one of the things that you told me was lime is its natural form. A lemon is a hybrid.
Oh yeah. Oh, that part. Yes. That
blew my mind.
Yes. A lime is the original citrus fruit, and lemons are a hybrid of limes. Correct.
And that's why the lime works. So I mean, you listen, I can clean the stove with a lime. It's so strong.
It's strong.
Yes,
It's
yes.
like I call it the super scrubber. If you want to get stuff out of your body, you start drinking lime. I have a client right now that is drinking lime water, and I'm telling you, within 2 weeks, her eyes are brighter, her skin is clearer. It's amazing to see what drinking the lime water has done to her. Like, I'm watching her change right in front of my eyes. And
And most singers use the lime. We drink lime water to clear the throat and
clear the
strip
throat.
the throat.
Yes.
But I want to jump over because you know I'm excited about this, and I really want to make sure we get this in because I want you to spend time on it. As we mentioned, that you have a group on Facebook, and a lot of you who are listening are already in. Now you actually get to see who she is. This is the first time you're seeing the group leader. But a lot of you were in because of your health. You said ESP, I'm not feeling well, or I have cancer, or I've been diagnosed with this, or I've got a lump. And I referred you to Tanya, and she's been helping you out. But here we want to give everybody a gift. So we're opening the doors to the group, which is another reason why I wanted to introduce you to her, because she's doing something extremely special in the next couple of weeks. So grab a pen and a piece of paper. Henceforth in the show, you might want to write down all the information. But the biggest thing is she's about to have a major, major event that will change your life. So I'm going to ease back and let her tell you about that because it's going to be, and you need it. Family, you need this. COVID, all of this lockdown business, us wearing masks, our body's not getting enough oxygen, revitalization. You need this. So listen, she's going to give you the information, and I hope all of you get on board.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of things going on, as she had mentioned, as ESP had mentioned. I have a wellness group, a health and wellness support group on Facebook. It is free. It is called the Fresh Start Focus Inner Circle. If you type in Fresh Start Focus Inner Circle, it will come up and you can request to join free of charge. We are having a 14-day spring detox, which will begin on May 3rd. But to participate in the 14-day detox, you need to be a member of the group. And we are having on Tuesday, I'm already in August, right? April 27th on Tuesday at 8 p.m. I am having a private Zoom meeting for people who want to participate in this detox. I have expressed it in the group. If you are not in that Zoom meeting, I cannot add you afterwards. So I'm asking you if you want to be a part of this transformation, because it's 14 days of cleansing, of purifying, and of changing your heart and your mind. And I would love for more of you to join. And if you get in the group within the next few days and get on that Zoom call on Tuesday, April 27th at 8 p.m., that link will be in our group. If you come there, you will be able to participate in the 14-day spring detox, which begins on May 3rd.
So guys, listen, here's what we're going to do. For those of you who don't mind having your email address or your name in the comments, please type your name in the comments right now. I will add you in as soon as we're off the air. That's number one. Number two, remember that whole list of 31 platforms that I read to you? Because a lot of you are not on Facebook. Some of you are on Instagram right now. Some of you are on YouTube right now. You know that I come around the whole circle and we answer all of your comments. Type your name there or call the numbers, leave your name. Utilize all of those things that I gave you, and you can send us your name, You can send us your email address and I will put you in. You don't even have to do the work. I'm making it that easy for you because all I want you to do is get involved with this detox. You're going to feel as light as a feather. Trust me, I've done this with her before. You're going to be walking on air and things are going to come out of you that you didn't even know existed. You will see stuff that you ate 10 years ago. Family, trust me, you need this. Get on board. Give me your information. Let me get you in that group and get in that call on the 27th. Don't make me come for you. You know I will. All right, Tanya, you go.
Yes, and in addition to having the wellness group, I do want to say I do have a radio show, not a television show yet, maybe one day, right? But it's a radio show called Fresh Start Focus, and it's on WDRB Media, on iHeartRadio and TuneIn Radio. And you can also tune into it on www.drbmedia.com. I have lots of guests from all different walks of life, all different people who are in the health profession, people who experience transformations in their life. And if you even feel like being on and sharing your story, feel free to come on that as well. In addition to that, I have the Fresh Start Focus Wellness Group. Mm-hmm. And we work privately, my business partner and I, with clients who want to make health changes in their life. So that's it's kind of what I do. I'm in all those different avenues that I have going on. But I'm just so grateful to be here with ESP. This is I just have to say it again. This is such an honor to just be here and just to share and to really help people to get to the next level. Aren't you tired of being sick? Aren't you tired of struggling? This body, this temple that you have been given by God is the greatest machine ever invented. You can't replicate this. No matter how, even scientists can't replicate this body, this creation that you have. And if you give it what it needs, it will pay you back in dividends that you can't even imagine. All of these foods that we're talking about, this chemicalized foods, and those of you who are listening from abroad, I know you don't have as many chemicalized foods. Matter of fact, in some of those countries, stuff that we are allowed to eat in America are actually banned.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Because
they know better.
Exactly. So for us, we have to get a lot of pesticides and herbicides, and we also have to get the chemicals. If you go to the supermarket and most of the food that you buy is in the center of the supermarket, you're eating chemicals. If most of the food that you eat are on the perimeter in like a produce section, you're in better shape. Okay.
Girl, that was a gem. Say that one again. That was a gem. If you're on the inside.
If you're shopping on the inside of the supermarket, okay, take a square, and most of your shopping is on the inside of the supermarket, you are eating chemicals.
Wow.
If you buy the food that's on the perimeter of the supermarket, particularly in the produce section, you are eating real food. That's where the real food resides. In the perimeter.
I never, ever thought about that. I've never thought about that. That's so crazy because the stuff on the outside needs to be replaced and replenished, and they need to be at the refrigerators, which are to the outsides of the store. But all of the stuff in the middle has the chemicals and can survive anything. Listen, people, if you got stuff in your shelves that's been sitting in there for a year, that's not clean eating. Unless even if it's a grain. Why would you have grain sitting in your shelf for a year? You might have weevils in them. You need to get rid of that. And speaking of which, we're not asking you to take a garbage bag and go into your shelf and rip things down. That's not what we're telling you to do. The reason why people in the United States are not successful with their dietary and lifestyle changes is because they have to do everything overnight. Everything has to be drastic. When you do things drastically and when you do things in a sweeping curve, you don't stick to them. When you take things progressively, step by step, and you look at what you're doing and you understand the changes, that's your success. So don't rip everything out of the closet. Take them down piece by piece. You know what the heavy sugars are. Like she said, the Twinkies. And you know what, Tanya? Talk about the mood changes. We were talking about the sugars earlier, you and I, when we were having lunch. Because there's so many hidden sugars in everything. But people don't understand the sugars are mood changers. So when you're complaining about your husband and wife and the moods that they're in, it might be a mucus buildup because of the sugars that they eat. Good. I'm going to step back, like, because I have a professional. I'm going to shut up. Go.
Okay. No, sugar actually affects your hormones.
Mm-hmm.
And your hormones affect your mood.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know this, that sugar and cocaine do the same thing to the brain.
Mm.
And this is why sugars are, first of all, sugars are dangerous to the body in large amounts. Like, I mean, people in the United States honestly eat about 150 pounds of sugar on a weekly basis. 150 pounds. Okay, that's what's in our diet. But that's a whole nother, I could do a whole show with you on sugar alone.
And we're going to pick a date. We're going to.
But sugar,
that's crazy.
And another thing too, you need to read labels. Okay, so we're talking about the sugar, right? And I don't want to be all over the place. So what this cocaine and sugar do the same thing to the brain. It lights up parts of the brain in the same exact way. This is why sugar is hard to get rid of. If you're a sugar addict, which I am a recovering sugar addict, I've said it. Those of you who will join my group, you will hear me say that over again. I am no shame in my game. I got into the health business because I was suffering with my own ailments and my own ills that I just wasn't getting answers to. But going back to sugar, sugar is a drug. It is a poison. It is a toxin. And even you and I were talking privately, ESP, regarding, you said in 1952.
1952, it was labeled by the FDA as a poison, and they refused to put it into the American system. And Monsanto, a big corporation at that time, bought it in a food, and it's been in ever since. We can't get rid of it.
And it is sad because it affects our children. It affects adults. I mean, it is really debilitating. Look at the diabetes. I mean, they said by the year 2030, 1 in 3 people are going to have diabetes. We're not far away from 2030. Okay.
Amazing.
It's horrific what it's doing to the American public, and people, you have to read labels. Maltose, fructose, sucrose, dextrose. Anything with an OSE at the end of it, it is sugar. It may not say sugar on whatever that packaged good that you get. It may not say sugar, but if it says that, those words that I just mentioned, and anything with an OSE, that is an added sugar. And and it's funny. There was this. I like potato salad. Okay, and I do. I like potato salad. I do. And down the street from my house, this butcher was making potato salad. And I was just like, and normally I read, obviously I'm in this business, so I read labels. But for some reason with this potato salad, I wasn't reading the labels. I think after I tried it the first time, I liked it so much, I just kept buying it. And I said to myself, why do I like this potato salad so much? I said, let me read the label. After about the 4th thing that was mentioned, it said high fructose corn syrup. I said, shut the front door. I said, are you serious?
You had potato salad crack.
Exactly, potato salad crack. Well, I haven't bought it since then. Ever since I realized it, because I was like, why? I mean, okay, potato salad, no big deal. But why I kept going back for more. This is what McDonald's, I don't eat them now, but McDonald's French fries has sugar in it. This is why people are addicted to McDonald's French fries, in addition to the other 15 chemicals that are in the McDonald's fries.
Well, yeah, considering the fact that that man had a French fry in his pocket for 10 years and it didn't even shrivel, I'm done with them. Pretty much.
But it's sugar is also one of the ingredients that because I couldn't understand with this potato salad. It's the high fructose corn. I even saw tuna salad from the deli of the supermarket made with high fructose corn. I'm like,
wow,
what's wrong with it? But this is the drug. This is the biggest drug in the world. But guess what? It's legal. That's why it's legal. And Monsanto, which has wreaked havoc as far as I'm concerned on the health industry, I'm sorry. The amount of chemicals that they put in their stuff, and it's affecting
on so many levels. Yes, I agree.
The industry on so many, but that's a whole nother conversation. We're all free here to choose whatever we want to eat, but people need to know what they're putting in their mouths. And like I said, reading the food labels is a start. All of these little secret sugars, if you can avoid them as much as possible, because not only does sugar light up your brain in ways that cocaine does, not only does sugar disrupt your hormones and will cause hormonal imbalance in your body, which will cause depression. This is why people who suffer with depression should not intake unnatural sugars, period. And I'm not talking about fruits. I'm talking about unnatural sugars. People who suffer with depression, stay away. I guarantee you, if you cut that out and you start taking 1,000 milligrams of fish oil a day, you will begin to see a change in your depression. Sometimes you're not depressed. Sometimes you're loaded up with chemicals.
And not for nothing, some of y'all need to drink a gallon of water and wash out your systems. And there was something that you said earlier, Tanya, about with regard to the sugars and diabetes. Family, for those of you who are being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, type 1 is something most of you are born with or it's long term. But type 2 diabetes, you can control with diet. And listen to me good. Get up off of your behind and move. Type 2 diabetes can be controlled with simple movement. Walk 20 minutes.
True.
I'm not talking about running to the subway to get to work. I'm talking about do 20 minutes worth of dedicated walk, come home, put your stuff down and walk around the block for 20 minutes at a high speed and your sugar will come down.
It's true.
Your body does not know what to do with the information that she's giving you right now. Your body don't know what to do with all of these sugars.
And other chemicals. I will say this also too. There is a program called, some people may not be familiar, but the basketball NBA legend who is retired, John Sally, was a guest on my show a couple of years ago. And he talked about this program. You can Google it. It's called Raw for 30. And some people who had diabetes, type 2 diabetes, who were like, it was bad. They did Raw for 30. It's a program called Raw for 30, and they did it for 30 days and completely reversed their type 2 diabetes.
Wow.
I've
done the raw eating for like 41 days, and you feel totally different. It's an amazing process. But you know what, Tanya? I just want to segue slightly. Well, no, it's a big segue.
That's okay.
You know what? Let's take a quick commercial. And before we do that, we'll come back. And when I come back, I want to ask you about the immune system, specifically with COVID and everything going on. We need a boost. So family, stay tuned. I'm having a great time. I hope you're having a great time. We're here with Tanya HAZLEHURST Dawkins. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with ESP Speak and Jack.
When we get hurt, no one tells us.
Lose the crutches. It's all in your head.
If someone is seriously ill, we don't say,
just feel less pneumonia-y.
So how is it that when
I'm not able to sleep at night?
I'm anxious all the time.
Drinking is the only way I can feel good these days.
Seems like I'm arguing with the people I love nonstop.
or other issues related to our mental health, too many people pretend we can just
snap out of it.
Taking care of our mental health shouldn't be any different than taking care of our physical health. But let's be honest, there's still too much secrecy and shame around seeking help. The truth is, this affects nearly all of us. 1 in 5 adult New Yorkers are dealing with a mental health disorder every year. Now imagine a city where the path to taking care of your mental health is crystal clear. We're not just going to imagine it. We created a roadmap for mental health to make our city as healthy and as strong as it can be. The roadmap has 6 guiding principles. Change the culture. Let's make it easier to talk about our mental health. Act early. Investing in prevention gives New Yorkers the tools to weather challenges. Close treatment gaps. We need proven programs in every neighborhood and every community. Partner with communities. The wisdom of local communities will help us get to the most effective solutions. Use data better. Better data means better treatment, better policies, and better prevention. Strengthen government's ability to lead, because we have a responsibility to support your access to mental health. New York City is moving closer to the day when the path to mental health is clear for every New Yorker. Get involved. Find out more about the roadmap here.
This is Patricia America, and today I want to talk to you about the affordability of owning a home. I'm sure you've seen the frenzy out there where the real estate market is just on fire, and you're probably wondering why. Why is it on fire, and why is it so affordable now, especially when most Americans have not seen pay increases over the last decade, but yet home prices have gone up into the double digits. Well, the reason why is because interest rates have really dropped to an all-time low. I mean, in most cases across the country, you're going to have interest rates below 3%. And that has really given most first-time home buyers the opportunity to jump into the market. In most cases, if you're not living with mom and dad, you're paying rent. And what we've seen across the country as well is that most people that are paying rent are now paying the same amount in mortgage payments. So if I were to ask you a question, America, if you can get benefits out of paying a mortgage and owning a home, why would you give those benefits to your landlord? We already know that you can get equity when you own a home, that you can get tax write-offs at the end of the year by owning a home, and you're building legacy for your posterity, for generations to come. It's generational wealth. So if you have those benefits, why not own a home when you can pay about the same amount as you would as if you were paying rent? So I am Patricia America, the purpose-driven realtor, and my purpose is to make all of your real estate dreams a reality. Give me a call today and let's make you a part of the equation and show you how affordable being a homeowner really is and the benefits that you can reap from it. Have a great day, America.
So family, we're back with TANYA HAZLEHURST Dawkins, and she is dropping some gems all over the place. I hope you're picking them up. But wow, this is really amazing. So TANYA, before the break, we were talking about sugars and diabetes, and there's a biggie though. I want to come back to all of those. In fact, we need a whole show just on diabetes. But there's a big one that I'm really concerned with, simply because, well, I'm always concerned with it, but because of COVID and because of all of the depressive state that we've all gone through because of the lockdown, now with the mask, with these extra fibers that we're sucking in every time we breathe in. People are not thinking about it. We're cutting off the airflows. We have to wear O2 OX attachments on us just to check our oxygen levels. But a big concern for me is how we're treating or not treating the immune system, because we're not caring for it on a natural basis in the way that we should. And I know that that's a big subject for you. So can we talk a little bit about that and how we can boost the immunity and help the family along?
Sure. Well, health over history, the time of history, has been about survival of the fittest, right? Survival of the fittest really comes down to who are the people with the strongest immunity. That's throughout history.
Wow,
That's
that's
not
true.
now. Whose immune system is strongest? And when I look at COVID and I look at all the things that we are experiencing, it really, a lot of it has to do with our immunity. In addition, obviously, we have to wear the mask, we have to wash our hands, we have to social distance. Yes. But if your immune system is compromised in any way, this is why they keep saying, if you have an underlying condition, what they're saying is, if you have an underlying condition, your immune system is compromised. And so if you get this virus, you are in a even more compromisable position because you already have a weakness in place. Now, I am not saying that this is the only thing that you have to do. Like I said, wearing the mask, doing the washing of the hands, the social distance is great. But if you think you can only do those things and neglect boosting your immunity and think that you can make it through this, we don't know how long this is going to go on. We don't know how many variants are going to come. We have to do what we can do. We can't do what we can do, but we can't do what we can't do, but we can do what we can do, if that makes sense what I'm saying. And what we can do is do the best we can to boost our immunity. Now let's talk about disease. There are 5 reasons that people have a disease at all. And me and my business partner, we came up with this concept, and we have found it to be true through trial and error and study and observation. 5 reasons for diseases, period. Number 1, your body is clogged. Number 2, your body is acidic. Number 3, your body is lacking oxygen. Number 4, you are dehydrated. And number 5, your thoughts are negative. Those are the 5 reasons that we, the Fresh Start Focus Wellness Group, have come up with as the cause of any disease. And through the many, 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 many clients we have worked with, this has always, and when I say negative thought, thinking negatively, I'm talking about negative thoughts. And when I say negative thoughts could be you're stressed out. Negative thoughts could be you're in a bad relationship. Negative thoughts could be is you hate your job. Negative thoughts could be you don't think anything well of yourself as a person. There are many reasons for the negative thinking, but those things bring down your immunity. People don't I'm at the point now with this whole pandemic or whatever this thing that we're in. You're mad at me, I apologize, but I can't stay mad at you, and I got to keep it moving. Why? Because the negative emotion is lowering my immunity.
And then you add with the George Floyd and every time you turn around, there's a killing and the shootings all over the place. It's a lot. It's a lot. The serotonin levels are up in our systems. Yeah,
exactly. And it is lowering our immunity. Do not fool yourself into thinking that negative thoughts, dwelling on it, pondering over it, not releasing it. If you think that it's not affecting your health, you are fooling yourself.
But negative thoughts can cause cancer. I mean, I've known women who have had stomach cancer based on the way their attitude in life, and it eats them up, and it literally eats at your gut.
Literally.
But how do we fight this, Tanya?
It's a deep thing. I mean, that's why
That's big. I know to unpack this is incredible, but you got to give us a little something. Got to give us a little shot, a boost, something.
Okay, so we want to talk about. So we talked about 5 things that cause disease. So if you want to boost your immunity, you've got to tackle these 5 things. So let's start with the first one. Your body is clogged. You got to get the crap out of your colon. Period. Your
detox, family.
Detox. You got to detox. Most people are running around with anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 to 25, some people 30, some rare cases, pounds of fecal matter in your colon. Your body cannot possibly be functioning at optimal health if you have an impacted and clogged colon. It's just impossible.
So family, some of y'all are full of shit.
But see, I didn't want to say it. This is not my show. I'm a guest. I didn't want to say it. But
I know you wouldn't say it, so I had to get it out. Some of y'all are full of shit. Really? Let's get it out.
That's really what it is. You're full of it. Full impact. You're full of it, literally. And you've got to get that out of your system in order for you talk about gut health, colon health. That is the creme de la creme of your health. If you if your gut is not well and your colon is not well, you are not well. That is the basis of disease. An impacted colon, a damaged gut, these things are a breeding ground for disease, of all diseases, not one disease, all diseases. If your gut is well and your colon is well, you are well. So a detox will help get your body to loosen up all of those things in there that need to come out of the colon and to repair the gut. Number 2, so your body's acidic. Those of you that are shopping on the inner part of the supermarket, all those packaged food, all those canned foods, all those frozen dinners, or whatever. Do people eat frozen dinners today?
Yeah. But they package them differently. They call them family size meals now. So where they used to be the little things, those are like diet packages now. Now you have a big tray of frozen nothingness.
Well, all of those foods that that what I call fake food or processed food, chemicalized food, those things create acidity in the body. Okay. So your body is so you want to get your body in balance. You do need some acid in your body, but if your body is overly acidic and the having an alkaline body is in the other direction. So your body needs to be more alkaline than acidic. You do need some acid because your body has to break down food in your stomach. But when it's overly acidic, you're headed for disease. So you want to get your body to be more alkaline, more fruit. So the alkalinity, fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds and water. Those foods, what I call real food, is what's going to create the homeostasis and the balance that your body needs to function properly. So that's number 2. So your body's clogged, your body's acidic. Okay. So acidity means if your body's acidic, you're eating not real food, bunch of fried food, salt, sugar, oils, processed foods. You are not having an abundance of fruits and vegetables, fresh water, nuts and seeds. Let's just be real. It's very easy to figure out if your body is alkaline or acidic. Just watch what you eat. Actually look at what you're intaking every day. Number 3, you're void of oxygen. Well, guess what? We are all void of oxygen right now because we're wearing masks all day, right? So you want to get oxygen in. How do you get oxygen in? Whether it's a couple of ways. Okay. Deep breathing. If no one is into deep breathing, that's a habit that you want to, just like, exercising, brushing your teeth, but you want to do some deep breathing. You know, you can breathe in. I do sometimes when I want to do it because it strengthens your lungs. Okay. And now with COVID, you want your lungs to be strong. So in addition to going out for a walk for 20, 30 minutes a day, you can just sit quietly, put on some meditative music, if not just in silence, breathe in for 4. You can do 4 or 5 or however long you can hold it. 4 or 5 is good. Hold it for 4 or 5 and let go for 4 and 5. I don't want to go into a demonstration right now, but practicing deep breathing exercises will help to oxygenate your body. Another way you can oxygenate your body is eating foods that have oxygen. Fruits and vegetables have oxygen. They're highly oxygenated foods. So you load yourself up in your diet of eating fruits and vegetables, which have oxygen, you're going to have more oxygen. Dehydration. I talked about this before. People think they're hungry, but they're dehydrated. Oh, I'm so hungry. I feel you just ate an hour ago. You just ate like maybe every 3 hours. Okay, you can get hungry, but like you ate an hour.
Have you met my kids?
You know, it's like you need a glass of water. You need to go drink some water.
Exactly.
Do you know that most people are dehydrated in at least in the United States? Most people are walking around dehydrated. And people think they're hungry and they're not hungry.
They're not.
They're just dehydrated. So
and that's why I usually have the kids drink a glass of water before a meal, just to make sure, because I don't want them eating on schedule. I want them eating because they're hungry.
That's right. That's right. So if you can get in, like you had mentioned, a gallon a day. Actually, Dr. Sadie talked about that. Drinking, if you can drink a gallon of water a day, you are on your way. But people are dehydrated. And unfortunately, chronic dehydration leads to disease. And then the 5th one, which we had mentioned, is the wrong thinking, negative thinking. We've got to get this thinking out of our minds because it's not helping us. It's lowering your immunity. And right now, more than ever, we've got to boost our immunity. That's number 1, right? We said clogging, so you want to unclog. 2, your body's acidic. You want to make your body more alkaline, right? By eating, more foods that have alkalinity, which is fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. Then you want to get the oxygen going. So exercising, deep breathing, meditation, because also in meditation, people do deep breathing in meditation. I forgot to include that at first. And eating highly oxygenated food, once again, fruits and vegetables. Then you want to deal with the dehydration, right? You're dehydrated. You've got to drink your water. You've got to, I cannot stress. Some people go out and buy juice. That's all they drink is juice. It's loaded with sugar. It's low, and sugar lowers your immunity. Just so everyone knows that. as much as we want our cakes and pies and whatever we wanted, this is not the season to overload on sugar. That's why as much as I struggle with that, I check myself. I am not messing around, because I know that when you go out there and you have to, this unknown bug that's out there in the universe wreaking havoc, okay? I am telling you, you've got to do things to boost your immunity. Eating sugar lowers your immune system and sets you up to get sick, not just from COVID, but from anything. Not that this is a sidebar, I don't know why people are in hospital that have cancer and they're giving cookies and pies and cakes to cancer patients. Sorry, that's just a pet peeve of mine. Don't you realize that cancer feeds off of sugar? Sugar feeds cancer cells. But we're not here to talk about that.
There's so many things that I need you to come back and talk to the family about. So you just have to make some time, because we need to do a series of shows and have you address this.
Yeah. The Fresh Start Focused Wellness Group, those are the 5 things that we have acknowledged that causes sickness and disease. And if you can address those 5 things, your immune system automatically is going to be boosted. Your immune system is designed to protect you. It's your own personal, what do they call those people? If you're a celebrity, you have the bodyguard, right? It's the bodyguard. Your immune system. No, it's true. If you really think about what the immune system is, it's your own personalized bodyguard. But you can't treat your bodyguard like crap and think that they're gotta be nice to your bodyguard. And that's what our immune system is there. It's a protectant against the elements. And like I said, for thousands of years, it's been survival of the fittest. And the fittest people in this world, in this universe, in the thousands of years of existence, have been the people that have had the strongest immunity.
So, family, all of this wonderful, wonderful information. And you know what? Some of you already knew this. You needed a refresher course. Sometimes I got to get up in your face and remind you that you know this. And it's okay, because that's our job. But see, I bring real backup to make sure that you understand we know how to fix it. It's one thing to talk about it, but now let's fix it. Some of you are sick. Some of you are sicker because of this pandemic. Some of you have actually gotten COVID, and you need to give your body a refresher. Please, please, please. I almost have tears in my eyes because I want you all to do this so badly. I promised you when I began this show that if you stuck with me, I would bring you real information that was life-changing. Some of you have stuck with me for an entire year. We're coming up on our anniversary, and you went from 2,500 the first night to 53,000 consistent viewers all over the world. I must be doing something right. Please listen. Please join. I will put the information up for the group. Those of you who are serious about this, contact us at any one of those 31 sites. Let's get you into this group before the 27th of this month, April, so we can all start together as a family, as a unit, as support for each other on May 3rd. And let's cleanse, detox, refresh, and move forward, because when you're clean, you can receive, and heaven knows what is there for you to receive. You got to move the junk out of the way to let the new stuff come in. So, Tanya, thanks so much for making our week, our Earth Day, our Earth Month, our Earth Mother that you are. Thank you so much for taking care of us with your words. We look forward to coming into the detox. And will you come back? Will you promise us you're going to come back again?
Yes. I said it in the group and I'll say it here. My deepest wish and desire is for all of us to thrive, not survive. And that starts with mental and physical health. Let's thrive. Let's thrive, people, because you all deserve it. You deserve it.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's thrive. And on that note, there's nothing else to be said. This is ESP signing off with TANYA HAZLEHURST Dawkins. And you know what I'm going to say. Be positive. Test negative. We'll see you next week on ESP. And this time Jax will be back. Speaks. Have a great night.